Hello and how you doing? I am Michael Mallon reporting here for Destination Newry. We are currently in Hill Street in Newry, and today is the official launch of the completion of the roadworks to Hill Street and Monaghan Street. A little later on today we're going to be going over to the Arts Centre where there's going to be a meeting, and also we'll be talking to Commissioner Nelson McCausland about the completion of the roadworks. So we'll also begin to talking to some local traders and members of the public as well. Very shortly, the Mayor and the Commissioner will be coming walking up to my left hand side here, up Monaghan Street and into Marcus Square here for an official photo. Okay, so as we speak, the Mayor and the Commissioner are currently walking up Hill Street and making their way over to the Sean Hollywood Arts Centre where they will carry out a press conference. As you can see behind me here, they are just currently walking up the street, and we will be going into the Sean Hollywood Arts Centre now for the press conference. Okay, so we have the Mayor and the Commissioner, Nelson McCausland, just getting some photographs here before they go into the Sean Hollywood Arts Centre for a press conference, and we'll hopefully get talking to the Mayor and the Commissioner a little later on today.
In acknowledging the role of the scheme consultants, Hamilton Architects and appointed contractors, SEAC, could I single out Noel and Diane for their efforts. In what were not always the easiest of circumstances, they continue to listen and to work in partnership with all to achieve this completion. I would reserve my first thanks and acknowledgement for the traders of Hill Street, Monaghan Street and the wider city. From February through to July was a very frustrating period and not easy for any of them during the works. And I would point out that the previous Mayor, Councillor Charlie Casey and myself, we took an awful lot of stick, but then we've got broad shoulders. However, with the newly completed scheme, the road resurfacing by DRD and the proposed revitalisation programme to follow, it is hoped the traders with patience will at last be rewarded. Newry's two main traditional shopping streets have been given a major boost that over the longer term have the potential to greatly assist in the recovery from the current downturn. I thank all of you for listening and hope that with another planned public scheme along the quay, we find ourselves back here in the not too distant future, acknowledging further investment and complete works within the city. And again, thanks very much to the Minister and for all who have come here today. This is a big day for Newry City and area. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Mayor McCarthy. Well, of course, with a fairly modest contribution of £220,000 from Newry One District Council, we've been able to lever some £1.7 million from the department for this phase, with a total cost of some £1.9 million. It goes without saying that the Department of Social Development has been a very strong supporter of the Newry One District and of Newry City. Indeed, there have been a number of previous schemes. The department has funded some £3.5 million worth of schemes, including two, Phase 1 and Phase 2 of Canal Street and Sugar Island, as well as two projects in Queen Street and Promenade and Warren Point, and previously that environmental improvement scheme in Mayor Bridge, Newton, Hamilton and Kilkeel. Earlier on, the Minister of Social Development had an opportunity to take a walk around the city to look at the schemes just being completed, but also to look at some of the other areas that we would hope to regenerate in the future. It would be fair to say that the Minister is no stranger to Newry and has been a regular visitor to the city. So it's therefore very appropriate that Minister McCausland should be with us today to formally launch the completion of the scheme. And it's my pleasure now to invite the Minister to say a few words. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, guests, ladies and gentlemen. At the launch of the Newry City Centre Master Plan in October last year, I spoke about my department's commitment to working in partnership with you here in Newry to make Newry the international, welcoming, healthy and competitive city that it strives to be. I'm therefore delighted to be with you in Newry today to honour this commitment and to launch the public realm improvements in Hill Street and Monaghan Street. There's a lot of work that is going on in planning and delivering a public realm scheme. And I must give credit to everyone who's been involved in this scheme, particularly the Council, The design teams, RPS and Hamilton Architects, the contractors, SIAC and Road Services, for carrying out some resurfacing to complement the scheme in Monaghan Street. Earlier this morning I took a walk through the city centre to see the transformation that has taken place in Hill Street and Monaghan Street. And when you now look at these two streets and compare it with what I saw on previous visits, it's difficult to recall just or to reflect fully the transformation that has taken place. I was certainly struck by the amount of open space that there is and that has been created in Hill Street. And I think that you now have the perfect location there for events and activities right in the heart of the city centre, and understand that the council and local businesses are planning to roll out a programme of formal and informal events to encourage people into the city centre. Monaghan Street certainly appears warm and welcoming, the sort of place that people would want to go, and I can certainly feel the buzz that there is in the street with the shoppers and the students as they go about their business. I don't need to tell you all how important Newry is in terms of economic activity, in terms of jobs and providing services for the community. This £2 million investment will help to sustain and develop businesses in Newry, as city centres are vital to the economic life of Northern Ireland. One of your businessmen this morning gave me the phrase, it's not just about having a city circle, it's about having a city centre. I think he's going to charge me 10 quid every time I use that phrase in the future. But it's a good way of putting it, because it is about not just having a lot of development around the outskirts, but actually having a vibrant beating heart right there in the centre of the city. And that's something that we're seeking to address right across the province, because in many places the city centres have suffered from decline and a rundown over the years for a whole variety of reasons. The history, the troubles, the economic downturn, all of these have had a harmful effect on our city centres and our town centres, and we really must devote ourselves to rebuilding and regenerating these, because they've got an economic importance, they've got a social importance as well in local areas. There is always more work to be done, and my department's South Eastern Regeneration Office is fully committed to working in partnership with you all to deliver the action contained in the master plan. Regeneration succeeds best when it is based on partnership. Partnership between business, government and the wider community. I'm therefore delighted to announce funding of £300,000 from DSD for a project to improve shop frontages and for a new branding and marketing campaign to reinforce the message that the city centre is open for business. This revitalisation project is another strand of the Newry City Centre Master Plan that DSD is helping to deliver. One of the most iconic images in the Master Plan is the picture which shows people relaxing and enjoying the views of the canal and the river. And I understand that plans to develop a new green pathway along the length of the canal are well advanced. I just left Dromore earlier on today, and we were talking there about the importance of the river in Dromore. We've seen the transformation that turning back towards the river can bring in terms of Belfast, and if we can get that same focus and draw out the benefits of the river and the canal here in Newry, I think the city will certainly benefit greatly. That proposal will go a significant way to reinforcing your future vision of Newry. I look forward to seeing the plans when they're developed, and subject to budgets being able to provide financial support towards the proposal. The public realm works, the revitalisation scheme, the plans for the canal, all supported by my Department of Social Development, will truly transform the city. You will appreciate that the Northern Ireland Executive Funds are under constant pressure, and there is only so much money that is made available to the department. As I said earlier, there's always more work to be done, and I would urge the Council to undertake improvements to complete the public realm in Hill Street so as to maximise the full potential for the city. Newry has the reputation of being a can-do city, and there are many opportunities, tremendous development opportunities identified in the master plan, which, if taken forward, will encourage growth and improve services for Newry and the wider population. Could I wish you well in your endeavours to deliver these proposals? I assure you of my department's commitment to work in partnership with you. And Mr. Mayor, thank you once again for the invitation to visit Newry, and I trust all goes well with the future development of the city.
Thank you very much, Minister.
Thank you very much, Minister Causland. Well, as the Minister and indeed the Mayor has acknowledged, the Project Steering Committee, which has driven this project forward to where we are today, has been instrumental in helping complete the scheme. And the Mayor has already identified the various stakeholders who were involved in that steering committee. Indeed, many of them are represented here today. But we'd like to take this opportunity just to acknowledge the pivotal role played by the private sector. And as the Minister has said, Newry has always had that can-do attitude. And that is quite unashamedly down to the entrepreneurial spirit that exists in this city. So it gives me great pleasure to invite just one of those representatives of that entrepreneurial spirit, a man who for many years has been running a business just within a stone's throw from here. I'd like to call upon Mr. Jack Murphy, who is the chairman of the Newry City Centre Partnership, to speak on behalf of the local business sector.
Thank you, Gerard, Mr. Minister and Mr. Mayor, and friends of Newry. Delighted to be here this morning. Delighted that we do things well in Newry, Minister. We've got sunshine out there for you. We didn't want you to come down into the windy and blowy sort of days that we had during the summer. And walking around the street this morning, we have already had a chat, and he stole that remark of mine, by the way. We want a strong city centre and not a city circle. On behalf of not only the city centre management, but on behalf of all the traders, both in Monaghan Street and Hill Street, Minister, I'd like to thank you not only for the work that has taken place so far, but also the work that we're going to get involved in now with the shop fronts and painting the area. And I think it's going to dramatically change it. The marketing that we're going to do, it's interesting. The Minister was saying there are 7 quarters in Belfast. We're not too greedy in Newry. We're just going to go for 4. And when I was in school, 4 quarters always made a whole, and I think we're going to have a fairly strong city with the 4 quarters. There's a lot of work being done and a lot of work still to do, and the traders, I know, are very anxious to get on with it and to get the whole town brightened up again and to get people back. I would also like to acknowledge how our customers, should I say, put up with the hassle that went on. But in fairness, while the work was taking place, Dan and all the crew worked very well with the traders and done what they could to help us to minimise the disruption. If I could just say, I mentioned to you earlier on, we have to look at how we go forward from here, and one of the big problems we have in Newry is parking. And whenever Newry introduced the pay and display, we were very keen, and the whole idea there was to attract customers in. But there's been a lot of concern lately that traffic wardens are probably coming more like tax collectors out there, and I think we've got to overzealous. And but the Mayor is going to organise a meeting with one item on the agenda, and that's parking. And I think when we get that, it is really going to push it forward. And I think with that and with this wonderful job that has happened on these 2 streets, I think Newry is going to go from strength to strength. And as traders, we're all looking forward to a very busy, bustling Christmas. And I would invite every one of you who are here today, and invite your friends to come and shop in Newry. I can tell you there'll be great bargains to be had. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jack. Well, we're almost finished the formal proceedings. I just want at this stage, early on, the Mayor did acknowledge quite a number of people who have played a very key role in the delivery of the scheme, and I would like to echo the words of the Mayor to congratulate and show our appreciation both to Damien Mulholland and to Jean Murphy from the Department for Social Development, 2 officials, your department minister, who work very closely with us and who we have built up a very positive relationship. And you can take some comfort, Minister, in knowing that nothing is passed for Jean, absolutely nothing, and we appreciate that. Can I just also take the opportunity, if the Mayor doesn't mind, just to acknowledge 2 people in my own department. Not sure if they're here, they're probably at the back of the room still pushing a few buttons here, and that will be Jonathan McGilly, who's the Assistant Director in my department's responsibility for urban and rural regeneration, and Jonathan oversees all of these works. But in particular, I also want to mention Seamus Crossy, and I think see Seamus in the back of the room. If not, he's probably out on the street somewhere resolving some other problems out there. But when it came to any problem, ladies and gentlemen, with any part of the scheme, or any issue to be resolved, Seamus was definitely our man. I just want to take this opportunity to acknowledge those two members of my team. Just like to conclude really, just again by acknowledging, Minister, the willingness of the Council and our delight to work with you and your department, and of course with the private sector as we now move forward, and just to record our delight of your announcement today of the £300,000 revitalisation scheme, which will no doubt help seal what has been, or what continues to be, exciting developments for Newry City. Also, we are looking forward, we all hope to further scheme here in Newry. We do acknowledge the challenge that lies ahead of you in terms of securing funding from the executive. But we have no doubt, Minister, that you will be successful. You will use every endeavour to bring forward that funding for the next phase of our scheme. And of course, as you've already acknowledged, the Newry City Master Plan, which you did launch here last year, so it set a much bigger challenge for us, and we certainly are very much looking forward to working with the department. Just before we conclude, we've been moving upstairs for lunch in a couple of moments. Just one last task to be performed by the Mayor. I just ask John just to come to the podium. We just to present the Minister with a small gift, or gifts, to show the appreciation of Newry City and Newry One District to you.
Good afternoon. We are still in the Arts Centre here, and we are now joined with Mayor John McArdle. Good afternoon, John.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Not a problem. Thank you for talking to us. Now, today is quite a big day. The completion of the works have now been done, and it is absolutely looking absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
Well, the public realm scheme has made a tremendous improvement, both aesthetically and every other way. And we believe that this and many other measures, it'll help to brighten up the area and to encourage more and more people to come in to shop in the centre of Newry.
It looks really well, so it does. It looks nice and modern, new trees and new furniture.
Again, the street furniture is marvellous. The bins are very, very artistic looking, and the seating is also marvellous. And that will encourage a lot of our elderly people in particular to sit in the centre of the city, especially on a sunny day. It adds to it. It's a great improvement, and we are all delighted.
Now, once that there has been completed, what is next on the agenda?
Well, they're now talking about from Dublin Bridge down to Sugar Island. They're talking about introducing that scheme to that area. Now, that'll take a bit of time, and as far as now, the money is available for that, and we're going ahead and planning for that, and that should start in the next couple of months, and that will improve tremendously that whole area of Newry the Quays, which was originally a very, very busy area, industry-wise and otherwise. So we're looking forward to, and that will really complete the jigsaw.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Thank you for talking to us. We'll not hold you for much longer. I'll go get some lunch. Okay, thank you. That is our Mayor, John McArdle. We'll hopefully get talking to the Minister a little later on as well, after lunch. Okay, we are now joined by Social Development Minister Nelson McCausland. Good afternoon, Nelson.
Good afternoon.
Now, the work has all now been completed, and it is looking brilliant. So it is really looking nice and modern now. You were saying about a revitalisation scheme now. Can you tell us a wee bit more about that?
Well, first of all, I'm really pleased to see the public realm work that has been completed. There's clear evidence right across Northern Ireland that when you carry out public realm schemes and make the area much more attractive and inviting, that it does draw in more traders, supports the businesses that are there, and also encourages new businesses to open. It also then encourages the private sector to invest in their premises. And again, there's evidence for that. But the £300,000 that we're talking about is intended to support the improvement of the appearance of the shops, the frontages, just not having good, attractive surfaces on the ground, but something that visually is appealing. And I think that we will see in Newry the results of that over the next while with increased footfall. in some places across the province, when you look at the increase in footfall, it has been very dramatic, 100% and more, 200%. So we'll hope that in Newry there will be the same benefit. Many premises over recent years, because of the economic downturn, because of the effects of the Troubles over the years, many properties have been neglected. They're not as they should be. There are empty properties. What we can do or what can we do to improve the appearance, make it visually more appealing, that people will want to go in there?
Yeah, absolutely. So do we have a date for starting on the new works?
Well, obviously there are issues around with all of these things. Getting agreements from shop owners, making sure everything's lined up. There's a commitment on the part of the shop owner as well, or the person who owns the premises. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but the thing will be taken forward as quickly as possible. The money's there, we want to get it spent, and therefore we'll press ahead. And I know the office here is very efficient, and that they'll press ahead with it.
Yeah. But thank you for coming and talking to us. We'll not hold you for much longer. We'll let you get up for your lunch now. Thank you for talking to us. Thank you. Okay, that's all from us here today at Destination Newry. We'll get to talking to some local traders a little later on, and some members of the public as well. Okay, we are now down here in Hill Street in Market Square, and we're hopefully going to get talking to some of the members of the public to see what their opinion is on the new completion of Hill Street and Monaghan Street. Okay, we're now in Hill Street and we're joined by a member of the public, Helena. Hello. Hi. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Sun's shining today, isn't it? What do you think of the new completed and new look Hill Street?
Oh, I think it's brilliant. It's a really nice place for people to hang out, and it's a nice open space. And
there's a lot more space now, and also Monaghan Street was. Have you been over around Monaghan Street yet?
Yeah.
It looks brilliant.
Yeah, it's a lot cleaner as well. Yeah. It's really nice.
It definitely looks a lot better. It's fairly tidied up, and soon they're also going to be giving the shops a facelift as well. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know it.
You learned something now. But yes, it's going to be looking very well and looks very clean, doesn't it? Thanks for talking to us here on Destination Newry. Thank you. Okay, we are now in Cahill Brothers shoe shop here in Hill Street in Newry, and we are joined by the property here at Declan. Hello and good afternoon.
Hello, how are you?
I'm sure you're absolutely delighted to see, well, can we call it back to normal yet?
Oh yeah, you can call it back to normal. I mean, the work is complete, the upgrade is definitely finished, and thanks be to God the workmen have gone. Yeah. Great guys, but we're glad to see the back of them.
It was an awful disruption over the past few months though, wasn't it? Like shoppers were put off coming down the street with the roadworks, and there was a lot of mess going on about the street as well, wasn't there?
Well, it was a result of bad planning from the department, but we, the workmen on the street and the SIAC, the contractors and all that, did as much as they could to help us to alleviate the problems that did exist, and with the hard work and ability of most of the shopkeepers on the street, we pushed and pushed and pushed and managed to keep it going. But my goodness, it was really tough. Yeah.
Was the communication between yourselves and the work crew good, was it?
Absolutely. We only had to ask them to move this or shift that or whatever, and if it was at all possible, they did it for us.
Yeah. Now, it was actually supposed to be finished in May. It has went slightly over the time, so it has, but do you think has it been worth it?
Oh, I believe it to be well worth it. I mean, we have a lovely event space in Market Square, Market Square, I'm sorry, and it's wired up for lighting and everything like that. The quality of the pavements, the quality of the parking bays and all that are much better. No, Hill Street is the main street in Newry. Monaghan Street is one of the leading commercial streets in Newry, and both of them definitely needed investment and needed to be upgraded.
Now, the Minister, Nelson McCausland, was in Newry there this morning. We were up at the Arts Centre with him, and they were saying that there is going to be more money boosted into Newry to give some shops facelifts, and as well to make it look a lot more better as well. Now, that obviously is great to have more money pumped into the local community as well, and they are focusing on the main city centre, Hill Street and Monaghan Street as well. Now, what do you think about that?
Well, myself, I'm a member of the board of Newry City Centre Management, and between ourselves and the various different retailers and traders up and down Monaghan Street and Hill Street, we worked with the development, the DSD, and we insisted. They offered us a paltry sum, and I was appalled by it, and I have to say quite a few of the others agreed with me, and we negotiated with the department, and they increased the value of the offer, and with advice from the various different groups that we work with, we've come up with an idea to upgrade both in publicity terms and in schemes to revitalise the two streets and to get back the appeal of the area.
Yeah, and get everybody back into the centre of Newry City and into the local shops as well.
Well, shopping is a habit, and it's sometimes customers can lose their habit because of the problems on the street, but we feel that we have an offer, and I mean, this shop you're standing in now is the oldest privately owned business in Newry. I'm third generation in this, and we have a quality offer that's second to none on the island of Ireland, and you'll find that up and down this Hill Street here and Monaghan Street. Because of the diligence and because of the entrepreneurial skills in the centre of Newry, you'll find that though high streets are struggling, the shops that are here, and you only have to look at the names above the doors, some of them are individuals, some of them are multiples, and together we create a tremendous offer.
Yep, absolutely. Shopping is brilliant here on Hill Street, and now with the new look of it's much more appealing, and hopefully the shoppers come back after the works as well.
Well, the invitation is there. We will be having a street party to launch it. We're having various different events coming off on the street. We look forward to the big Pride event coming up at the end of this month, and all I can say is it's there. It's very attractive, and we're here. I mean, to be fair, since the work has been completed, the people have come back.
Yeah.
We find the business has come back very, very well. Yeah. But you know, as my accountant always trains me to say, business is good and we're looking for more.
That's great. Thank you for talking to us today, Declan, in Cahill's Brothers right here on Hill Street in Newry. Okay, so we were talking to the Mayor and the Minister as well, and we got some views from local shop owners and members of the public as well. So that concludes it here on Destination Newry. I'm Michael Mallon. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the footage.